Welcome back to Power CEOs, Truth Behind the Business. If you're just tuning in, you're going to want to go to nowmedia.tv, click on shows, and go to Power CEOs to catch the entire segment because it has been filled with pure gold. Jennifer Cahill is here. She has been dropping all kinds of insights on how to personally show up as our best, be the best human that we can, improve our communication, improve our leaderships, and really optimize everything that we're doing in business and life. And we're going to dive right back in. Jen, you have shared so many insights and so much goodness. If our viewers and listeners took home one thing and did an action right now, what would it be?
Pause. Pause the next time. Before you're about to send that angry email, I'm the queen of sending those angry emails back in the day, so take it from me, don't do it. Pause. Before you pick up the phone to yell at a team member, get frustrated, or call a vendor, pause. And not only pause, use what a technique I learned. I study many disciplines. Kabbalah is one, and they have many business techniques in it. One is called proactive confrontation. And what that means is the next time you're about to sit down where you might have to fire somebody or give someone a tough review, imagine having the whole conversation with them internally beforehand. So it's the same way that Michael Jordan or whomever would review his game film. You prepare yourself mentally, emotionally, and then you wait for the right timing. Have you ever had a tough conversation with, with a child, with a colleague, with a business partner, and you know at the moment you're about to talk to them, it is not the right time to talk to them? Listen to that. Pause. Wait for better timing. And in doing so, when we can do this, then that optimizes us. That gives us the greatest potential to get a win-win result for everybody who's involved in this. So also sending, before you, I actually just learned this technique recently, before you go to get on a phone call or send an email, think about one thing you appreciate about that person, or write one thing down. Because we've felt it, right? Even if there's not an emoji in the text, you feel the energy of like, screw you in the text, right?
Yes, you absolutely do.
So what if you paused? What if you paused and thought of something you appreciated about that person before you went and sent the email or made the call or stepped into the meeting?
It shifts that perspective. I love pressing pause. Pressing pause is something that we use in a lot of different places. Before you accept something, pause. If you need an answer right now, it's no. Check to make sure that it's alignment. So press pause. You guys know we take action. So press pause the next time that you have something coming up and make sure that it's the right timing. And you brought up that gut check that sometimes you know, and so many times we ignore that, but it's essential. So what is that? That's an intuitive gut check. It's a human-to-human connection. How do we tune in and put that microphone on that intuition if we've been tuning it out for so long?
Well, I love it. One day you're going to have on, Jen, my friend Dr. Roland McCready from HeartMath, because there's actually a great video from HeartMath and a study they did where they took images on a screen with I forget how many participants, and the images were either peaceful images like a lake or frightening images like a snake. And our heart's intuition would know seconds before the image was even put on the screen what was about to happen. So the more that we can cultivate that inner awareness, breathing is critical. No matter what you study, if you take nothing else away from today, take time to breathe deeply. There's box breathing, vagal nerve breathing, HeartMath breathing. When we allow deep breaths, when we bring our awareness to our breath, that is our fuel that then allows us to shift from our sympathetic to our parasympathetic nervous system and re-access our higher functioning, which will help us to make better business decisions.
I love it. Breathe. Once again, just breathe. They make songs about that. So take a breath, do your breathing techniques, and shine a light on what really you're feeling or you're picking up inside. I think that's fantastic. And no, it's not woo. It's not woo.
It's science. It's science.
Yes, absolutely. And so you gave us a tremendous amount of resources. You've talked about HeartMath. You've talked about the 4 Agreements, numerous books and resources. If we were going to learn the art of pressing pause and taking that breath and tuning into our intuition, what would be that one resource that people could pick up or listen to or check out so that they can read more about?
You know, there are so many wonderful tools out there. I'd be hard-pressed to give you just one. My friend Arthur Samuel Joseph has a book called Vocal Leadership. He's been my vocal coach for 10 years. He taught Pierce Brosnan, Sean Connery, Tony Robbins had to speak, and he was a big proponent of pausing. Kabbalah, I mentioned, I love their weekly energy boost. It's a little more woo-woo for some of the audience. But from a business standpoint, I think that even there's a book called Breathe that's very helpful out there.
Fantastic. So we are going to wrap this. If you could go back in time, because we already know we're a recovering jerk. I'm a recovering jerk too. I get it. If you could go back in time to that other space where you didn't know these things and give yourself just one piece of advice, what would it be?
Be kind to yourself. I think the reason I was the biggest jerk to other people is that I was really, I didn't love myself. I was so unkind to myself and judgmental, and I think that if I had learned to be kinder to myself back then, I would have been much kinder to my team and to the people in my life.
I love it. Be kind to yourself. Silence that inner critic. I know we're all high performers. We all have that inner critic. We are our worst critic. But sometimes if we can satisfy that inner child, if we can love on ourselves a little bit, maybe that critic becomes a cheerleader.
Exactly. Yes, 100%. I love that.
Okay, Jennifer. So let us share with the audience, how can they get in touch with you? How can they learn more about what you've got going on now? Or if they've just got questions or they had some insights in here and would like to share with you, how would you like them to reach out?
Well, thank you, Jen. Thank you, audience, for listening in. You can find me about OptiMatch on om.app and get a free demo with us. You'll get to meet me in person. And then you can also find me if you want to book me for a keynote speaking engagement or interest in one-on-one coaching. You can find me at Jennifer, K as in kite, Hill, HILL.com. Thank you.
And so as we leave, what's next? You are super successful. You've got this startup. It's rocking. You've got your research together. You're doing amazing things. What's next for you?
World domination?
All right,
I'm just kidding. I'm just teasing. No, my intention this year is to help as many people as I possibly can with self-regulation tools, cultivating greater human connection, and helping to enhance trust. That's what we're doing at OptiMatch, and that's what I do on every show I appear on.
Fantastic. And let's leave the audience with a quick, what is something that they could start with as an affirmation or something that they can do that can help them with their inner critic?
So one thing you could do is, and this was a tough one that Arthur Samuel Joseph taught me, is go to the mirror every day, and this is tough, I cried when I did this, and you just look yourself dead in the eye and say, I love you.
Oh God, I did that too. That was so hard.
It's so hard. You're like, I love you, I can't say it. But I remember the first time I worked with Arthur about 11 years ago, we were in a studio in LA, and I just couldn't even look myself in the eye because so many of us don't love ourselves.
I've been there too. So that is excellent advice. So today, that's what we're going to go home and do. Whew, I got chills.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time and your expertise. I really appreciate it. And you, yes, you, I'm talking to you. You have been with us for this hour. It has been all kinds of amazingness. Jennifer has dropped so many insights on us. And your action step today, not tomorrow, not next week, but today is to breathe. To pause the next time you have some sort of a conflict or feel a certain way, pause, breathe. You can Google all of the different breathing techniques that there are. There's a tremendous amount of them out there. I like HeartMath. We mentioned HeartMath. I like box breathing. We mentioned that as well. But your action step is to actually go do it. And I encourage you to start that right now. Google one of these techniques and practice while you're not overstimulated or angry or frustrated. Practice while you're sitting here enjoying this amazing conversation so that it just becomes a part of who you are. And next time that something knocks you off kilter, you're able to easily draw on that because you're doing it anyway. So that's your action step today. Once again, not tomorrow, not next week. And unfortunately, all good things do come to an end, including this show. But the good news is we'll be here same time, same station next week. Until then, go win today, win this week, and we'll see you next time.
This has been a Now Media Networks feature presentation. All rights reserved.